Skanda3, Bhagavatham as related by Maitreya to Vidura. The third and fourth branches of the Bhagavata are related by Maitreya to Vidura. Maitreya was the disciple of Parasara, father of Vyasa. Parasara learned the Purana from Sankhya from Sanat Kumara, and Sanat Kumara from Atlanta Deva. The creation. Skanda3, chapter 5-6. At Pralaya, the Shakti of Bhagavan was asleep. That Shakti is Maya, which is Sat Asat, or existing, non-existing. Existing eternally as root and not so existing as forms. Following the law of periodicity, Purusha fecundated Maya. Mahat and other principles appeared by transformation. All these principles were devas, having in them germs of consciousness, action, and transformation. They could not unite to form the universe, being divergent in character. They prayed to Ishvara for power to unite, taking Prakriti as a part of him, as Shakti. Ishvara entered into the 23 tattvas or root principles. He awakened the karma that remained latent in them. By Kriya Shakti, he then united them. The 23 tattvas acting under divine energy and the impulse of karma that had remained latent in them formed the Virat body, each bearing its own share in the work. The Purusha within this body, Virat Purusha or Hiranya Purusha with all beings and globes included in him, dwelt for 1000 years in the waters like the embryo in the waters of the uterus. This embryonic Purusha divided self by self, one-fold by Daiva Shakti, tenfold by Kriya Shakti, and threefold by Atma Shakti. The one-fold division is in the heart, the tenfold division is in the pranas, Prana, Apana, Samana, Udana, Vyana, Naga, Kurma, Krikara, Devadatta, and Dhananjaya. For the pranas are not tattvas or principles, but they form an aspect of Purusha. The threefold division is Atma in every being, which is triune with its three sides, Adhyatma, Adhibhuta, and Adhidaiva. The Purusha infused his Shakti into the Virat body for the development of powers in the tattvas. The Adhyatma mouth appeared with its Adhibhuta speech and Adhidaiva Agni. Similarly, the following appeared. In Adhyatma, tongue, nose, eye, skin, ear, epidermis, upastha, generative organ, payu, hand, pada, foot, buddhi, manas, ahankara, and chitta. Under Adhibhuta, rasa, taste, gandha, rupa, sparsha, shabda, sting, generation, secretion, actions of hand, movements of foot, bodh, deliberation, sankalpa and vikalpa, true and false perception, aham perception, and thought. Adhidaiva, Varuna, Ashwini Kumaras, Aditya, Vayu, Dik, gods of vegetation, Prajapati, Mitra, Indra, Vishnu, Brahma, Moon, Rudra, and Brahma. The Triloki also appeared, Suvar from the head, Bhuvar from the navel, and Bhur from the feet. With these lokas appeared the devas and the other beings, who are the transformations of the gunas. From the predominance of sattva, the devas went to Svarloka. Men and lower kingdoms entered Bhurloka from the predominance of rajas in them. By the predominance of tamas, the different classes of bhutas remained in Bhuvarloka. The Brahmana appeared from mouth, the Kshatriya from the hands, the Vaishya from the thighs, and the Shudra from the feet. We have considered the manifested logos in the universe. We shall now consider his manifestation in man, the microcosm. The teachings are all collected from the Upanishads. The manifestation in the heart. A detailed knowledge of this manifestation is called Dahara Vidya in Chandogya. The Upanishads speaks of Atma in the cavity of the heart. Guhahitam Gahvareshtam Puranam. is a well-known passage from the Upanishads. The Purusha in the heart is also called Pradesha or the span-sized Purusha and is a favorite object of meditation in Pauranika Upasana. The Upanishads call him thumb-sized, and there is an interesting discussion as to the size in Shariraka Sutras I 324-26 and the Bhashya thereupon. The manifestation in the pranas. The Upanishads say it is this prana that is consciousness itself, bliss, without infirmities and death. They are these 5 Brahma Purushas. Again, Brahma Purusha in the openings of the heart. The heart is called the abode of Brahma. There are 5 openings of this abode of Brahma and there are 5 gatekeepers. These gatekeepers or Dwarapalas or the 5 pranas. They are called Brahma Purushas as they pertain to Brahma. As long as a king is in the heart, the doorkeepers remain in the body. These doorkeepers, being inevitable accompaniments of Brahma in the heart, are also themselves the outer aspects of Brahma. The manifestation as Atma, which is triune, what is a man but a bundle of experiences on the planes of Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti. Each of these experiences has a threefold aspect, or in Vedantic expression is a triputi. These aspects are the object experienced or Adhibhuta, the experience itself or Adhyatma, and the Deva which gives the consciousness of that experience or Adhidaiva. In material expression, the object outside is Adhibhuta. The reception of its image is Adhyatma. The light that shews the image to be what it is Adhidaiva. Each experience is a 3-sided triangle. All the triangles in the Jagrat state, analyzed by the Vedantins into 14, are represented by the first letter A in Pranava. All the triangles or triputis in the dream state are represented by the second letter U. In Taraka Brahma Yoga, Ye or A is merged in contemplation into U, and U is merged into Ma. In Ma, there is only one triangle, which is the primary triangle to which all other triangles in A and U may be reduced. The Adhibhuta side of this triangle is Ananda by the vritti of Avidya. The Adhyatma side is the vritti of Avidya. The Adhidaiva side is Ishvara. Life in Triloki is conditioned by this triangle. The object of Taraka Brahma Yoga is to cross the triptyti, to cross the 3 letters of Pranava. It is only in the 4th pada of Pranava that he finds his resting place, that pada being situated beyond the Triloki. The 3 manifestations of the 3rd Purusha in Jivas or individuals may be said to relate to their different stages of evolution. Thus, prana manifests itself only in the lower life kingdoms, the minerals and the vegetables. The prana or life process is more elaborate in the vegetables than in the minerals. Purusha then manifests itself in the senses and emotions in the animal kingdom and in intellect in the lower human kingdom, the manifestation being threefold. The last manifestation of Purusha, the one-fold manifestation in the heart, is in higher man. Number 2. Vasudeva and Sankarshana. Skanda3, chapter 8. When this universe remained submerged in the waters of Pralaya, the eyes of Vasudeva remained closed in sleep. He opened his eyes, lying down on the serpent king Ananta or Sankarshana. He indulged in self and was without action. Inside his body was Bhuta, Sukshma, or all beings in a subtle state of latency. Only Kala Shakti manifested itself, and he dwelt in those waters in self, as fire remains in wood with powers controlled. Having slept for 1000 yuga cycles in the waters with only Kala Shakti manifesting his work, he found the lotuses of the lokas in his body. He then looked at the Sukshma that was within him. That Sukshma became pierced with Kala, propelled Rajas, and small as it was, it came out of his navel region. By the action of Kala, which awakens karma, it suddenly grew up into a lotus bud. Vishnu entered this Loka Padma, or the lotus of Lokas. Brahma then appeared in that lotus. He looked on all sides and became four-faced, but he could not find out the lokas. Though he was in the lotus himself, confused as he was, he knew not the whole lotus. Where am I? When is this lotus? So thought Brahma, and he searched below to feel the lotus stalk. The search was vain for 100 years. For another 100 years he meditated within self, and there appeared within his heart one Purusha lying down on the body of Sesha, the serpent king. The description of the Purusha is much the same as we have read of the Pradesha Purusha, so it is not given here. Brahma prayed to that Purusha and was told to practice tapas for acquiring the power of creation. The creation by Brahma. Skanda3, chapter 10. When Bhagavan disappeared, Brahma, as directed, practiced meditation for 100 Deva years. He found his lotus abode moved by air, with all the power acquired by Atmavidya and Tapas. He drank up all the waters and the air. He found the lokas attached to the overspreading lotus, and he had only to divide them. He entered into the lotus bud and divided it into three parts, the Triloki. This is the creation of the Triloki. The higher lokas, Mahar, Jana, Tapas and Satya, are the transformations of Nishkama Karma or unselfish action. So they are not destroyed in each kalpa, but they last for 2 parardhas. What is Kala? Asked Vidura. That has been described as the Shakti of Hari. Kala is the disturber of gunas, replied Maitreya, causing transformations. In itself, it is without any particularity and is without beginning or end. With Kala as the nimitta or efficient cause, Bhagavan only manifested himself. The universe has no separate existence from that of Brahma. It is only Kala that makes the universe manifest. The creation of Brahma is ninefold, Prakrita and Vaikrita. Prakrita Vaikrita being the 10th. The Pralaya is of 3 kinds. Number 1. By Kala or Nitya, flow of time is the only cause of this Pralaya. Number 2. By Dravya or Naimitika, Dravya is the fire from the mouth of Sankarshana at the end of one kalpa. Number 3. By Guna or Prakritika, the gunas devouring their own actions, the forms of Pralaya will be considered in the study of the 12th branch. Ye. Prakrita creation, the creation of principles or tattvas. 1. Mahat, which is the outcome of the first disturbance of the equilibrium of the gunas. 2. Ahankara, Dravya plus Jnana plus Kriya. 3. Tanmatra, result of Dravya Shakti. 4. Indriyas, result of Jnana and Kriya Shakti. 5. Vaikarika, Devas and Manas. 6. The fivefold Tamasika creation. B. Vaikrita or individual creation. Urdha Shrotas, or with upward current of the food taken, the Sthavara or immobile kingdom with 6 divisions. 1. Vanaspati, plants that fructify without flowers. Oshadhi, creepers that last till the ripening of fruits. Lata, ascending creepers. Tvakshara, those of which the growth is not the center but in the dermal regions as bamboos. Virudh, non-ascending woody creepers. Druma, flowering plants. The consciousness of all the 6 classes is almost obscured by tamas. They are sensitive only to internal touch. They have many peculiarities. Tiryak Srotas, with slanting food current. The position of the animal stomach as regards the animal mouth is such that food is not taken in vertically, but either horizontally or slantingly. The animal kingdom has 28 divisions. The animals are ignorant with predominating tamas, with the sense of smell largely developed in them so much that they mostly perceive by that sense, and with the faculties of the heart entirely undeveloped. The 28 classes are 1. Living on the ground, the cloven-footed, the whole-hoofed, the 5-nailed. Number 2. Aquatic animals and birds. Arvak Srotas. Prakrita Vaikrita, the Kumaras. The Kumara creation is partly Prakrita and partly Vaikrita. Besides these, there is Vaikrita Dev creation. There are 8 divisions of Vaikrita Devas: Vibudha, Pitri, Asura, Gandharva and Apsara, Siddha, Charana and Vidyadhara, Yaksha and Raksha, Bhuta, Preta and Pisacha, Kinnara, Kimpurusha, Asvamukha and others. The Vaikarika and Vaikrita Devas form one class. Prakrita creation is that which gives rise to and is connected with all individuals, excepting the tamasic or avidya creation, which we shall consider later on. The divisions of this creation were caused by the first life impulse given by the first Purusha. The tamasic creation was brought into manifestation by the third Purusha, Brahma. The division of the life kingdoms according to the movements of the food taken is peculiar to the Puranic system. It will be interesting to know from the physiological standpoint whether it is necessary for the development of the brain that the spinal column should be erect, whether it is necessary for the formation of the spinal column that the stomach should retain a certain position, and to know also how far the fixture of the plants is an impediment to the development of any nervous system in them. It is remarkable that the mineral kingdom is not mentioned as a distinct life kingdom. The reason appears to be that the creative process is divided into 2 periods. In the first period, formless jivas take form after form till the lowest material form is reached. This is elemental creation or the creation of devas as described in detail in chapter 21, Skanda 4. The Purana goes on to say, then Brahma created the Manus, 3:24-49. The Manu creation shows how mind was gradually developed through vegetable, animal and human creations out of the mineral kingdom, represented by the mountain chief Himalaya. The giving up by Sati of the body acquired from Daksha and her rebirth as the daughter of the mountain king show how the elemental creation gave way to a fresh creative process which took its start from the mineral kingdom. The Kumaras form a peculiar creation. They are Prakrita in as much as they partake of the character of Devas, and they are Vaikrita as they partake of the character of men. Sridhara, the great commentator, also says, Sanaka and other Kumaras are not created in every kalpa. The account of their creation is only given in the first kalpa called Brahma. In reality, the vegetable and other life kingdoms are created in every kalpa. Sanaka and others being created in Brahma kalpa only follow the creations in other kalpas. Upon death, men go to Bhuvarloka, where they become Bhutas, Pretas and Pisachas. Then they go to Swarloka, where they become Devas, not the Devas of Deva creations, but only temporary Devas. When their merits are exhausted, they come down upon earth to begin life as men again. But if by unselfish karma and devotion, men pass across the limits of the triple plane, they go first to Maharloka. Here they are called Prajapatis. Bhrigu and other Prajapatis, who are the ordinary dwellers of Maharloka, are described in one sloka of Bhagavatham as bearing the life period of one kalpa. In the next sloka, it is said that the yogins who go to Maharloka remain there till the end of the kalpa, when at last they go to Satyaloka. But in another sloka, the Purana says, when the night of Pralaya follows, the 3 lokas, Bhur, Bhuvar and Swar, are burnt by the fire from the mouth of Sankarshana. Troubled by the excessive heat of that fire, Bhrigu and others proceed from Maharloka to Janaloka. Chapter 3, 11-30. This shows that the dwellers of Maharloka live for the lifetime of Brahma, or 2 Parardhas. This is also made clear by the following commentary of Sridhara on chapter 3, 10-9. Why did Brahma make the 3 lokas into one division? This Triloki, consisting of Bhur, Bhuvar and Swar, is the place that is to be made in every kalpa or day of Brahma for the enjoyment of jivas. But jivas dwell in the higher lokas as well. Why are not those lokas created then in every kalpa? This is because they are the transformations of unselfish nishkama action or dharma, the lokas themselves and the dwellers thereof. The Triloki and the dwellers thereof are the transformations of selfish action. Therefore, they have birth and death in every kalpa. But Mahar and other lokas are begotten by unselfish action heightened by upasana, and they last for 2 parardhas, which is the lifetime of Brahma. And the dwellers of those lokas generally attain mukti after that period. The ordinary dwellers of Janaloka are the Kumaras. When men in course of evolution reach Janaloka, they become Kumaras. We have already seen that the essence of life in the higher lokas is unselfishness. It is for this reason that the Gita speaks of unselfish action in the first instance as an essential requisite of spiritual life. But it is not unselfish action alone which enables us to get rid of our personal desires and to assimilate ourselves with that one life which pervades all. Devotional love is another equally essential requisite. It is impossible for us to realize the different experiences in the four higher lokas. The famous Brahma Sukta has the following line: the 3 feet of Ishvara bearing eternal happiness in the higher lokas. The 18th shloka in chapter 6 of 2nd Skanda is an exposition of this line. Sridhara has the following commentary on that line. Happiness in Triloki is fleeting and temporary. Though Maharloka is on the path of liberation, the dwellers of that loka have to leave it at the end of every kalpa. The happiness there is therefore not everlasting. In Janaloka, the happiness is everlasting as long as dwellers do not leave the place. But they have to witness the miseries of the dwellers of Maharloka when they come to Janaloka at the end of the kalpa. In tapas, there is absolute want of evil. In satya, there is freedom from fear or liberation. We have left the devas, not the elementals that pass through the life kingdoms of this earth, out of consideration. Their evolution is worked out in all the 7 lokas. Their names and characteristics in each loka are given by Vyasa in his commentaries on Patanjali's sutras. Those who are ordinarily known as devas are the dwellers of Swarloka. The Deva Yonis or lower devas are dwellers of Bhuvarloka or Bhurloka. Men have nothing to do with the devas of the higher lokas. The devas of Triloki are indifferent, friendly or inimical to men. Left alone, they do not interfere with men, but when men try to gain superiority over them by the acquisition of Brahma Vidya, they try to throw obstacles in their way. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, even the gods verily are not able to prevent him from the possession of the state of all. I 4-10. Again, as verily many beasts maintain a man, so every man maintains the gods. It's not pleasant, even if one beast is taken away, how then if many? Therefore, it is not pleasant to them that men should know this, that is, the truth of the nature of Brahma. Commenting on this, Shankaracharya quotes a sloka from Anugrata. The world of the gods is surrounded by performers of works, but the gods do not wish that mortals should abide above. Shankaracharya goes on to say, therefore, the gods try to exclude, like cattle from tigers, men from the knowledge of Brahma, as it is their desire that they should not be elevated above the sphere of their use. Whom they wish to liberate, to him they impart belief, and unbelief to him whom they wish not to liberate. Anandagiri, the commentator of Shankaracharya, quotes the following shloka: Devas do not protect men, rod in hand, like cattle keepers. When they wish to protect a man, they impart the necessary intelligence to him. Nothing is said in Puranas as to devas of the higher lokas. The Prakrita devas are intimately connected with our senses and intellect. It is through their direct help that we are able to perceive and to conceive. Hence, they are called Adhidevas or Vaikarik devas. They are not individuals, and remarks made above as to devas do not apply to them.